And now we should get some text, and yeah, we do. Hey there, I'm your host Lissawi, and this is part 2 of the Easy Inventory series. In today's video, we'll be working on the item data and creating the items. So with that said, let's begin. Let's start by going to our content drawer, inventory folder, item data, and inside here, we'll go to blueprint, and let's create a structure. This we can call s_item slot. And this will represent our inventory slot. So let's add in an item ID, which will make a name type. And we also want a item quantity, which will be a integer. Now let's save that then. Next, we also want to create another structure, and this will be s_item info. And inside here, we'll map out what information we want our item to have. Now, this could be several things. We, of course, want an item name, if I can spell that, item name. We can do it together separately. So we'll do it together. We want the item icon. We might want the item class to spawn it in. And we want item sound effects, and we want item quantity. Right, so in here then on item name, we'll add in our text. For the item icon, we'll do texture 2D, and we'll get a object reference. For item class, we want a class reference to our item. Now for that, we should create it. So in our content drawer, inside of our inventory folder, let's create another folder for our items. Inside, let's right click, create a blueprint class of type actor, and this will be our parent class for our item. So we'll call it bp_item_base. Now we don't have to do anything with it, just needs to exist. So back in here then, on item class, if we search for bp_item_base, we can select our class reference. For the sound effects, we can create a structure. So if we go to our item data, let's save the item info, right click, blueprint, structure, s_item sound effects. And in here, I want my pickup, drop, and move sounds. So we can select this to be a sound base, first of all, object reference, and we want 3 of those. So we want our pick up sound, we want our drop sound, and our move sound. Let's save that then. And back in here, we can select this as our type, s_item sound effects. And for the item quantity, we'll make an integer. And let's save that then. Next, we want to create a data table for the items. So let's right click, go to miscellaneous, and we'll find data table. And we'll select our s_item info. And let's hit OK. Now we can name it. So let's give it a name DT for data table _item data. Let's open it up. And in here, we can add in our items. So let's add in 3 items. And for their own name, let's do bottle_health_001. This will be our health potion. And this row name can be a combination of letters and numbers. It's like a unique identifier for your item. So you can design this however you wish. So we'll do bottle_mana_001. And we'll do bottle_stamina_001. So it just lets me know that it's the first type of its kind. So for example, bottle_health002 could be like a medium style potion. So for the names, if we click on the first one, we'll do health potion. For the icon, we can search for the icons we have, and I have a health icon in there. For the item class, we don't have that just yet. So we'll make it in a second. For the item quantity, we can do 1. Item sound effects, we do have that. So we have our pick up sound, potion pickup. We have our drop sound, potion drop. And we have our move sound, so potion move. We can copy those, copy, and since they're all potions, we can paste them in and paste them in again. So that's our health potion. For the item class, what we can do, we have the base. Now, if we go to that base, so if I select it and go to it, we want to create childs for each individual item we're going to have. Now, this is the parent class. So we want to right click on this and create child blueprint. And we'll call our first item, our item health potion. Now we can duplicate the childs or create another child from here. Don't duplicate the parent. So we'll right click, duplicate the child, do mana potion. We'll duplicate that and we'll do stamina potion. Let's save that then. And now that we have all the classes created, if we go back on our health potion, we can select our health potion. On our mana, on our stamina. Now we can go ahead and fill all of these out. So I'll do that real quick. Next, we want to go ahead and update our item data component. So we'll go to item data, bpc_item data. And in here, we want to add in a few variables. So our first variable, we want to be our item data. And this will be of type row handle, data table row handle. And we also want a item quantity. And this will be of type integer. If we compile, we can then give these a default value so that we don't have to set it per item. And in our item data, we can select our data table we just made as well. So let's compile and save that. Next, we want to create a custom event and we want to call this our pickup. And this function will be called on our interact with. And whenever this is called, we'll call this and then do some logic in here. So for that, we also want this input here. So we'll do input called interactor and of type actor. So we already have it there, but just to show you actor object reference. And we can call this pickup here, like so. Now we'll have some logic in here when we have our pickup system finished, but at the moment we'll get the owner and whoever owns this component on this interaction. So this pickup will be destroyed. So we'll destroy the actor. And once we get the component of the inventory, we can then do our pickup. For now, this will do. So let's compile and save. Next, let's create a function called getItemData. Now in here, we'll get our item data table, do a break, and we'll do getRow, get data table row. We can select our item data there. Now you could go ahead and plug this in, but for some reason this turns out gray. So I like to do it like that. And then we break it out. Now it's going to work. We'll do return. And we just want to return this. So like so. And this will be our item data. And we can make this a pure function. And let's compile and save. So with this done, we want to go ahead and edit our items then. So if we go back to our items folder and we click on the bp_item base, not the children, the parent class, all of the children will be updated with that. So let's open up that and open full blueprint. In here then we'll start by adding in our mesh. So hit the plus button and we'll do static mesh. Let's call it item mesh. And we can go ahead and add a collision to this as well. It just helps with interaction. So sphere collision, and we'll call it our item collision. Now in here, you want to search for collision and you want to go to collision presets, select custom and do block interactive. If you don't do this, it won't work. And we want to do this for the both of them. So custom block interactive. And we'll compile and save that then. Next, we want to click on the plus again and search for our BPC underscore item data. And that's our item data component. If we compile and click X, compile again, we should get some options on the right-hand side. So item quantity, we have 1. We don't have to manually set it. And if we click on the item data, we have the data table. We only have to select the item that it is. So if this is our test item, it's none of those. So we'll leave it as it is. And with that, if we go to class settings, we can also add in our interface. Because if you remember, our items need to have this interface for us to be able to interact with them. So let's compile, save. And if we double click on look at, we can go in here, then grab our item data component to get item data. And this is the function we wrote earlier. And out of here, we'll do a break. And we have all of this information. So we want our name. So whenever we look at this object or this item, we'll do format text. In here, we'll do pick up space double or curly brackets, and we'll do item, close curly brackets, and we get this item option then. So whatever you write between the curly brackets, you'll get in there, and we'll put our name. And we can hide unconnected pins. Just like that, we should get our message. So we'll compile and save that. Another thing that we could do is in the construction script, we could grab our item and do set simulate physics and turn this true. Now, this will allow our items to have collision and they'll react with the world. So we'll compile and save. And if we go now to our inventory or content drawer, we can click on each individual item, click on the data table, item data, and select what item it is. So this is a health potion. So let's make it health potion. And you want to do this for every single item that you have. So let's do it. Also, when you're setting up all of these items, make sure to click on the item mesh and select what static mesh it should have. So mine is called bottle. You can click on it. And then if I compile, we can select the material, which will be our health material there. Let's compile and save it and do this for every single item. Once you're finished with all of that, we should see our items display in here. We can select them and drag them out. Click on them individually. And if we have them on the floor and walk over them, we should be able to see, okay, it says nothing at the moment. So let's see why that is. So the reason that our text is not showing up is because we haven't added the component to the player. So let's open up our third-person character. And in here, we want to add in our interaction component. And we also want to add in our inventory component, like so. And we'll be getting to that later. But for now, that's okay. Let's compile and save. And if we play the game, we should see our interaction trace, just like so. And we'll go in and see the text, pick up health potion, pick up mana potion, and pick up our stamina potion. Now we don't need to see that on the screen. So we'll go ahead and open up our interaction component in here and open up the interaction trace. And in here, we'll do none, like so. Compile and save that. And now if we go and check again, boom, it all works nice. And if we pick them up, they just disappear because we haven't actually created the inventory just yet. So this is it for this video. In the next episode, we'll be working on picking up our items. And with that, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like. And as always, happy developing.